Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Together we're the Office Blokes.
Yep.
It's true. YouTube versus comedians.
Interesting.
What about
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know. It's from Joke World though, which is we've done a lot of the podcasty sort of compilations and all of the reactions to the Will Smith slap that was on this channel that we reacted to.
Right, okay. That long time ago, that isn't it? Old news, that now.
We need something new to happen like that, don't we?
Go and do it, Dave.
We'll slap Will Smith.
Yeah.
All right.
So someone famous.
Who?
Anyone.
Anyone.
Pick a person.
No. There's no one good. There's no, like, the controversy that came from that. It was like a whole worldwide phenomenon, wasn't it?
It was
like,
unbelievable.
I think it was the environment he was in as well. Was it the Oscars? Or?
The Oscars,
yeah. It was. Yeah.
Anyway, let's check this out. This is YouTube versus comedians. Let's go for it.
What's the deal with airplane peanuts?
Our Roseanne episode got taken down and we got strikes on YouTube and we couldn't post for a week. Those were the rules.
There are other places, you know, we might start uploading the show to Twitter. We are experimenting with all kinds of things.
You don't get to communicate with YouTube really about it, right? They kind of, this ruling comes from people you can't communicate with or access, and then that's how they do it.
He's like, well, we could just cut the joke out, and I'm like, I'm not just taking a 3-minute chunk out of my special.
Joe List just got done celebrating the release of his third stand-up special in the last 3 years, but festivities were cut short just 12 days later when YouTube struck his video with various restrictions, demonetizing the video and stopping all the built-up momentum this special had. When the news first came out that Joe's special was being suppressed, I was confused. As someone who watched Enough for Everybody in its entirety, I was racking my brain trying to think of what part could have possibly gotten this thing flagged. As it turns out, Joe List was struck for using the word as the punchline in one of his favorite jokes of the new hour. Although the whole thing is very funny start to finish, which is why it's even a
Gotta say, every video we react to that uses that word gets limited ads and makes limited revenue. And it does say, when you do the monetization settings on YouTube, if it contains that word, it's not eligible for monetization.
Right, okay.
That's why we started our own hashtag with a similar sounding word, but then I think that started getting picked up.
I think it did, didn't it, from what I remember, so to stay clear.
Yeah.
And a bigger shame that YouTube is making it so hard for people to see.
That's what's ironic, by the way, the C-word joke is like progressive. I'm saying we used to treat women shittily.
Right. They don't, it's no nuance. It's all some robot who hurt and malfunction.
Exactly. So...
yeah, Giannis had the great point. He's like, people are looking at their screen so much, they're becoming AI. That's why, like that New York Times thing you commented, they didn't get the joke. It's almost the irony. We're losing our nuance.
Right, right.
We're becoming robots.
That's a good point. They're flagged or whatever you call it, strike, whatever they call that.
Yes, yes. God hates flags.
They just hear the word and go like, bloop, bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's no nuance or irony or context, just word-based.
Yeah, so now, and then I was talking to my associate over there at YouTube, and he's like, well, we could just cut the joke out. And I'm like, I'm not just taking a 3-minute chunk out of my special.
No, it's a good joke. Bleep it if anything, but can you go in and go, bitches? You know?
Maybe, but we've already appealed once, so now it's like, we have to appeal a second time.
Now, something that makes YouTube's behavior during this entire situation even more interesting is comparing the current landscape of comedy on YouTube to that of corporate streamers, in which YouTube was originally used to break free from. What once was thought of as an enemy of real comedy due to its typical mainstream censorship and fear of backlash from jokes, Netflix and YouTube have completely switched places. It used to seem like the corporate route was where you go to cash a check, with the understanding that they might cut out any jokes they deem inappropriate. While YouTube was the Wild West that allowed free speech and trusted their viewers to think critically on their own. But nowadays, YouTube is the one suppressing specials for edgy jokes, while Netflix is the one supporting real comedy. They allowed Shane Gillis to do hilarious jokes about ISIS, Trump, Biden, gays, you name it. Everything was on the table for him with Netflix.
And Netflix, I gotta hand it to them, they let me say everything.
Yeah.
I figured you with the R word, that was over, the big tardo, and they were like, go nuts.
Well, here's the thing.
That's awesome.
It's back.
Yeah!
It's back, baby. Time to let them know again.
They know they're
Oh, they sure do.
Netflix choosing to once again champion comedians is obviously good news in the grand scheme, but really doesn't help fill the huge gap that will be left by YouTube if they no longer support comedy. Netflix is still a gate-kept system in a lot of ways. Just because they're willing to support dark humor doesn't mean just anybody can release a special on their platform. And that was always the beauty of YouTube in the first place. So many of the best modern-day comics like Mark, Shane, Joe, and more blew up by self-producing projects on their own and uploading them to YouTube for free. Fans can see their hard work, start buying tickets to their shows, joining their Patreons. It's been the new way young comedians can make a name in this industry. And it just sucks that we could potentially be missing out on the next Mark Norman because of these illogical rules. It seems like comedians have different experiences working with like these big streamers. Obviously, like Andrew Schultz had the story about buying his back, and you're someone who typically works with darker jokes and darker topics. So was there anything that Netflix had a problem with, or were they just like the keys are in your hands?
I couldn't believe it. I think maybe like a Dave Chappelle or somebody opened the door for just saying crazy shit, or Ricky Gervais maybe. They were cool with, I got Holocaust, Down syndrome, you know, fat jokes, trans jokes, you name it. And they were, the only thing they said was, I wouldn't do COVID stuff just because it's past.
Yeah.
It's out of date. So I was like, great.
It's not just uploading full-length specials.
We know about that word on YouTube, though, the C word.
Yeah.
Kind of do know, and I'm not saying comedians should censor themselves. They should say whatever they want. But YouTube does have that. It's very specifically written into the rules about that word.
Yeah.
It's up there with racial slurs.
Really?
Yeah. When you do the monetization settings, it's like N word,
right, for
C
that,
word.
right.
Yeah, they're classed as the same sort of level of thing.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it, really? But it is a good point about how a lot of these comedians have started by going on YouTube and you know, filming stuff themselves, putting it out there free for everyone.
Yeah,
so
it's a career.
As a platform for that, it's absolutely been amazing.
I wonder how many views that Joe List special has got. I think when it showed it was on about 400,000 or 500,000 or something.
Yeah.
Which isn't going to make a crazy amount of revenue anyway. It is more ticket sales and getting eyeballs on it and stuff like that.
Who owns YouTube then?
Google.
Google. Right,
and then the company that owns Google is Alphabet, I think.
Right. I'm just wondering who makes the rules, whether it's people within YouTube, certain executives that come up with the rules, or the actual top owners that own Google.
I think
it'd be a department, won't it, that comes up for that kind of stuff.
I think YouTube is responsible for itself. I'm not sure how much Google tells YouTube what to do.
So
I don't really know.
Right, okay, yeah.
That's giving comedians trouble. Even podcasts now rely heavily on this platform to share their episodes, which means the funniest people who push boundaries more often and take the biggest risks are having the most trouble. Tim Dillon has been aggressively suppressed multiple times, and Theo Von has had past and current episodes completely removed.
I don't know. Stavros was having this problem. He did an episode with Santino. That was it. I think they demonetized that or took it down. And it had like 100,000 views in one day, and then now it has 110,000 views.
Oh my God.
And so that's what I'm looking at right now.
This happened to me with Glassman. I did Rick Glassman's, and we usually have a pretty good rapport, and he was like, this is going to get 250 easy, and we got about 105 because I think I said something offensive.
Yeah, it's really horrible, and I think Tuesdays with Stories has been demonetized.
It's not good because YouTube used to be the place to be, and now it's going to be some new young buck's going to come out. We're all going to move to a funner neighborhood.
We can upload straight to Twitter the whole episodes now.
Yeah, but now you're that guy.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, that's what Theo Von did, and he got like 8 million views on it because everyone has to see it now. His Roseanne episode got taken away because Roseanne said some Holocaust shit, and then he goes, well, f it, and he went and he tweeted about it, and Elon Musk tweeted back and said, put it on here, and just all the buzz got 8 million views. Wow. So it actually did better.
Until some changes start to happen higher up in the YouTube.
Do you know about the Roseanne joke that she made?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I think that, again, it was... Yeah.
She conflated, I think, ballot stuff in the States, so like fake votes to the Holocaust in a joke, and then she kind of said that neither of them happened. Or, you know, as a blatant joke, if you listen to it with the context and the fact that she's Jewish as well. And it was just, I think that's what Theo got the episode removed for, but also got a strike against his channel for her making that joke, and then uploaded that podcast to Twitter and got like 8 million views on Twitter on it instead. Wow. I just don't know how Twitter's monetized for things like that. I don't know, like, do you get paid well for 8 million views? Do you get paid at all? I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
YouTube corporate ladder, there's a few solutions that comedians have been able to utilize in the face of suppression. Kind of. When Matt Rife had his hour special Matthew Stephen Rife age restricted out of nowhere, he chose to delete and re-upload the video, but turned the censorship into a viral marketing call to action, and the special ended up hitting great numbers the second time around. Another case of flipping this issue on its head and using it for your own gain is a story that everyone's familiar with by now, related to Andrew Schultz in Infamous.
Or maybe I'll be one of these guys, you know, like these
grifters.
Well, the people that are like, they got me.
Right.
You know, help me out or whatever.
Yeah, you'll be at the Capitol in a year.
Because Schultz, he blew up because he was on Barry Weiss because he had to change something or something.
Yeah. Too offensive. Some streamer wouldn't have him. Whatever the story is, but he made a cool $5 million. I do think you should throw it up on Twitter as well. F it.
The whole special?
Yeah.
Nothing but the special? Help me God.
I do, but I think, you throw it up on Twitter because the Theopod's an hour and 40. This is an hour.
Right, interesting. Okay, maybe I'll do it.
Twitter's been the solution thrown out by a few guys now, especially after seeing the viral success that Theo Von had posting his band episode with Roseanne, which received over 80 million views. Twitter sounds great in theory and is a good option to get some more eyeballs, but you can't rely on Elon Musk to retweet every single episode. And I feel like more people go on Twitter seeking short-form, quick-hitting entertainment. It might be harder to reel someone into watching an hour and 40-minute podcast when they just open the app to read a few quick tweets. Which again is what's so beautiful about YouTube. People come on here with open minds looking for high quality videos to sink their teeth into of any length. It's still unclear what the solution to all of this is going to be in the end, but it is just wild and bizarre that we're living in the year 2023 and still struggling for freedom of speech online. However, all of us can help do something right now by going over to Joe List's YouTube channel and watching his full-length special, Enough for Everybody. Guest spots from last week: The Joe Rogan Experience had a Protect Our Parks, Louis J. Gomez.
I think that's the meat of what we were trying to see there, because at this point he usually talks about podcast news for the next the past week or whatever.
Yeah.
It's an interesting sort of thing though, isn't it?
It is. It's obviously not a free-for-all platform, is it?
No, but it can't be, because the amount of money they're talking about and the amount of sponsors they need to attract on YouTube and stuff, they can't just have anything being said.
It is a difficult thing with content, though, isn't it? Like we found out, we've thought things are okay, but then they're not, and it's like it's a bit of a tightrope, isn't it?
The mad thing is with some of the stuff like this is you could react to something on YouTube, and you could use something on YouTube, and then get blocked and have it demonetized. But then the actual video you've got, which you're doing it, is on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you actually take it down, but you're taking it down, but the actual video is on YouTube.
It's on YouTube anyway, so that's where the two conflict is, isn't it?
The two strikes we've had that aren't due to copyright reasons have been that. There've been videos that were on YouTube, still are on YouTube.
Yeah.
We've reacted to them and then got strikes for encouraging dangerous behaviour or child safety was one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was like a fail video.
Yeah.
But then that fail video is still
available.
to this day available.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Still there. Wow.
Yeah. It's mad, but I get there's got to be rules. You've got to fit into a certain thing, otherwise you see advertisers just pull out of major platforms because they don't like something that's been on there.
The thing with YouTube is they've got so much content and so much options to monitor, to pick and choose if you want how they want to do it, and if you don't fit their bill, they're not asked.
There's a big sponsor just pulled out of Rumble. I can't remember who it is though. Because Rumble have refused to demonetize Russell Brand. And the CEO of Rumble came out and said, we support free speech here, and he's not been convicted of anything, so we're going to allow him to carry on making money. Which is fair, absolutely. But then one of the major sponsors of Rumble turned around and said, well, we don't want our brand on there anymore.
That's their choice as well. So it's a free country. I suppose that's their choice as well, isn't it?
Free market, isn't it?
Do you think someone else will come along eventually to rival YouTube absolutely properly?
I think
they're an absolute juggernaut, and even like Google are, aren't they? You think who's going to rival them ever? That's what it feels like. But
you've seen with the shorts trying to take over from TikTok, sort of thing, and it will do.
It always happens, doesn't it?
It will do eventually. They'll buy something that's similar to TikTok, and just and gobble up the platform, so they're the number one.
Yeah, something will happen, won't it? Where another company just probably shoot up. Won't
you got to remember, it's 20 years ago. None of these were here.
No.
Yeah.
What was it? 2006, 2007 was it for YouTube? Something like that. It was around that time. I'm not sure exactly.
Even
what
think
year
about
it was.
Around that time, Amazon wasn't here.
Yeah.
So you look at all the main sort of like things we're having today, 20, 25 years ago, none of them were here anyway. So there's always platforms for people to open up on, and who knows?
Someone else always comes along, don't they? Yeah. Always.
This could be the MySpace rise like a phoenix out of the ashes. Just completely go full free speech. Anyone's allowed to say anything on there. It still exists, MySpace. Believe it or not.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think realistically, Rumble is growing at a big rate, but it's still tiny compared to YouTube.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a lot of big streamers that go over there and content creators and stuff.
Yeah.
Look at the comment section on articles posted about Russell Brand. You know, when you get like OK Magazine with some salacious take on it all, and the whole comment section is people going, "Thanks for letting me know he's been demonetized on YouTube. I'm heading over to Rumble now." Loads of people saying I've signed up to Rumble just so I can watch his content.
Well, we've seen videos before of stuff like mobile phones of like 20 or 30 years ago where they've started like Sony Ericsson, Blackberries up there.
Yeah.
So it loads them, then you see like iPhones at the bottom just going up and up and up, and 10 years later it's like poof, and they take off. I mean, same sort of thing could happen, I'm guessing. It's possible.
I think YouTube will always be the big one. I don't think anything will ever take it down.
It's so well established, isn't it?
Success is always temporary, as they say.
Yeah. But I think YouTube's great, but we all know that there's certain things you can't say, there's certain stuff you can't show. It's their platform to do with what they want, essentially.
Oh, absolutely, Just sometimes it's difficult to know where the boundaries are, So some boundaries we know about, absolutely. But then there's others that are a bit sketchy, thinking, can you do this, can you do that, can you react to this? It's difficult to know sometimes.
I think Joe List there needs to just re-upload the episode, just beep out the word. If it's one word, you keep the joke in, but beep out the one word.
Yeah.
And then marketing campaign, just talk about the fact that he's had to do it.
Yeah.
And the comedy community are going to get behind him.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to go and watch it because of that.
They're doing it already because of this, even though he's not bleeps it out and re-uploaded it. People are getting behind him and it's getting him publicity already.
True. So, but he's not making money out of it.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah.
Interesting debate, though.
Yes, yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.